Good afternoon from Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in sunny Lauderdale by the Sea. Nice day out there. Went out fishing over the weekend, caught a couple yellowtail snappers and a big giant barracuda. Not too far from this place you're looking at, but a little bit offshore, but not too far offshore. But anyway, this is not our weekend fishing report. I like to fish, as you can tell. Let's go over the Precious Metals report opening on Monday from where we were at Friday. Well, kind of as I suspected, it's holding on to this $1,800 range. You know, we were around 1798, 1799 on New York's close on Friday. You know, and as I said, for all intents and purposes, we're hanging on to that 1800 level. I had suspected to see some kind of pullback, but maybe not yet. However, you know, a pullback and even a really good, healthy pullback from this $1,800 level right here would not surprise me. And again, as I said, it would probably be healthy a little bit to pull back because you don't want to see markets just go up and up and up and up. That's what they do when they're at their apex and their bubbles. But we're not even close to that. We're not even close. However, I do expect some kind of pullback, even a minor pullback. However, if you're looking to try to trade on that and catch that perfect hour time when she pulls back 50 bucks or 25 or maybe even 100, who the heck knows? It has happened in the past, these pullbacks. You know, don't hold your breath. Sometimes it's hard to time these things perfectly and catch them. And if you do see it, you know, if you do see it drop and you do catch that opportunity, you have some extra cash, buy the dips, as they would say when the stock market would dip. They would say buy the dips, and I couldn't argue with that. So anyway, it looks like we're hanging on to this 1800 mark, and New York closed at 1811, so it's moving past that a little bit. It looks like it's trying to gain some momentum here, but I'd sure like to see it hang on to this 1800 level first, and let's see what happens here. Silver, wow. Man, that just rocketed, $19. I mean, we hit that $19 mark earlier in the week, and look at New York here earlier. New York closed at 1330 here, which is 130. 1980 was the close, which appears to be the high there, right around the closing time, obviously. And a low of 1911. So she kind of rocked past that 1900 mark. I'm kind of surprised too. I expected silver to pull back a little bit, but it's really shown a lot of strength, and perhaps this is just the catch-up. It's playing catch-up to gold like it's needed to for some time. You know, gold's going to continue to climb. I think silver is kind of underperformed gold as far as the ratio goes and a few other things. So I think silver maybe is just playing catch-up at this point too. But still, look at that 1970 on the close. Although the world spot markets did close lower, quite a bit lower actually, if you look at that, 60 cents or so lower. But still, we're holding that 19 mark, and let's see what it opens at in the morning. And the high in the world market, or the high 1941, the low 1876. Obviously, huge diversion between world and New York markets right here. And that just might have something to do with, well, obviously more strength in New York markets. So they must have something to do with delivery. Maybe it has something to do with that COMEX issue, with the COMEX having to deliver some product more than they're normally having to deliver. I'm not quite sure. However, it has been like that. New York has been closing and gaining more than the world markets have been. Let's take a look at platinum. Platinum's up too, another metal I think that's underpriced. And on the world markets, 1854, a little bit higher, kind of the opposite here. Or no, kind of a little higher here in New York. Again, closing a little bit lower in the world markets afterwards. So let's take a look here. What else is... Oh, Peter Schiff. I like Peter Schiff. He's been around for a while. I think he ran for Congress in Delaware or something like that. I'm not quite sure, some time ago. He's a gold bug also. I won't say gold bug, but he's very bullish on gold. And he was just talking here. It looks fantastic. The chart looks fantastic. Well, I concur with him, or he concurs with me, and since he's probably got more money than me, I'll concur with him. So anyways, gold pushed to $1,800 last week, and he's kind of saying the same thing we've been talking about on these little videos for the last month or two. There's nothing significant. I like this comment that he made. There's really nothing technically significant about 1800. It's just a round number that sounds good, and I think psychologically, having gone above it means something, and there may be some resistance just below that round number. But if you look at the gold chart, it's still fantastic. It continues to make new bull market highs. I 100% agree. Again, we've been talking about this for months and months now, and or at least on the videos here, we've been talking about it for months. I've been talking about it for much longer. Monday morning, gold, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, you can read Peter Schiff's stuff. He has his own website. However, if you want to buy something, I'd appreciate if you come to see me rather than Peter. So let's take a look here. I like to look at the Wall Street Journal, see what's going on in the world. I always say I like to look at news because, again, what is news telling you about what might what effect it might have on the price of gold or whatever assets that you like. There's a friend of mine told me when I was young, read between the lines in the Wall Street Journal, and I guess that can mean many different things. However, I'm kind of taking it to mean that look for little tells, look for things that'll tell you something about what your market might do. For example, you look here, California pulls back on reopening amid surge in virus cases. Well, that may not have a direct impact on gold. However, that will have an impact on the economy overall, which in the long term does have a significant impact on gold generally. I mean, if the worse the dollar off is, the worse the economy is, generally speaking, gold does very well in those environments. It's a good hedge against those kind of emergencies and problems and issues. And with California closing the reopening, that's kind of strange, closing a reopening, but whatever they're doing because of a surge in virus cases, not deaths, mind you, but in virus cases. But I won't get into the political side of that. They're going to really hurt business in a very significant state in our country. This is going to have a ripple down effect. Again, that is going to hurt the economy. So yes, good for gold. Nothing going to be significant in the short term, but in the long term, another one of those big issues in this country that's positive for the price of gold and silver. Stocks rally, lose steam in volatile session. I mean, there's some relationship between stocks and gold and such. I guess when people would really be fearing having any kind of money in the system, they'll take some of that stock money and move into gold, but not significant right here. This isn't SoftBank. Let's look at the big headlines. So, jumble COVID-19 border rules. Again, overall, this probably has something to do with the overall economy with this COVID stuff, and probably overall very good for gold and silver because it's just more stuff to hurt the economy. And let's take a look at the Dow, 26,000. We've been talking that the Dow's been hanging in that 25,000, 26,000 range for how long now? It's like treading water, kind of still sitting there, just barely over 26. So not quite sure what's going on there. If you know about stocks and stuff, hey, feel free to comment below. I'm always ears, or eyes, I should say, when it comes to this. I'll read it and take it into consideration. Let's see. Let's take a look over here. Again, this is good for gold as well. Fed releases polling scheduled for the next 2 weeks. We'll buy $9 billion in treasuries. Wow. That's just printing more and more and more and more money just to support the system. Treasuries, you're basically just supporting the U.S. government and all their follies, wars and agencies that they have to fund and all the programs they have to fund. No less. That's a lot of money that they got to print to do this. I mean, where does that come from? Well, we'll see. Overall, I think that's very good for gold. Not good for the country, but good for gold. And that's really about it for today. Tomorrow, I'm not quite sure. I've just got to keep expecting this pullback, but I haven't really seen it. However, I'm just going to go with that it's going to stay in this 1800 range right here. If we get more strength tomorrow, wow, that'll be interesting. Let's see. Same thing with silver. I think silver should pull back from this $19 level a little bit at some point this week, I'm thinking. However, we're in a bull market. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, we could just rocket past these points. These little pullbacks may not happen as frequently as I was seeing them and expecting them. Maybe these pullbacks are going to be a little bit longer durations or take a little longer before a pullback, and maybe they'll be a little bit larger. But we'll see what that looks like. There has to be pullbacks in these markets, so let's see what happens. And again, no matter what, I think if you just dumped your money even in today's high of silver at 1970, you're a big winner. You're going to win no matter what, as long as you're holding on to this stuff and you don't panic sell into a pullback. Well, anyway, that's it. This is Brian Kuzmar from Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in Lauderdale by the Sea. Call me anytime. You can see me circling my phone number, 954-493-8811. We have a brick and mortar store in Lauderdale by the Sea between the bridge and A1A, right on Commercial. And we're open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Always welcome to answer any of your questions, show your product, give you the best deal, whatever you're looking to do, buy, sell, or even if you need appraisals, we're here to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll give you my update tomorrow. Appreciate it, and have yourself a great evening.